you to everybody. Just want to say a few words before we start the countdown with third, second, first place. First of all, really appreciate, we started out with 70 teams, boiled down to 22 teams, and you guys are the 6 finalists. So definitely all of you guys really did an outstanding job, so you really must be commended. So let's give a round of applause to all of you. We promised feedback. In the interest of time, I have written down the comments of the judges, and then sometime next week, give me until Tuesday or Wednesday, we'll email it out to the team captains, different comments, okay? So you will get a little bit more specific feedback on good areas, areas that perhaps needed some improvement. So you'll get more detailed feedback, and we'll just talk here about kind of the different teams and very high level. So I also want to thank, the scholarships are made possible by a lot of our board member partners, Browley partners, MXM, Target Base, and Wonderman participated in some banquet scholarship tables, and we use that money for events like the scholarship. In addition, there's other scholarships, like the Insera Scholarship is an ongoing scholarship that some of you may have applied to for this semester. I also want to thank the Alon Group. Julie, Mary Kay came down from Chicago. They provided the data and they've made themselves available to be judges. So let's please give them a round of applause. And our judges, I think some of you have met him. Dimitri from Target Base, Tutsias, had to leave, but he had another engagement. But you probably met Julie Schmidt, Mary Kay Schultz, did I pronounce that right? From the Alon Group, Sheldon Flack from Sarah, and Michael Harrison, who's also been instrumental from Winterberry Group and kind of helping me connect with Alon. So let's also give him a round. So I'm going to pass the floor on to you, Julie, and maybe you can talk a little bit about, without mentioning the team, the third place team and some feedback. Again, all teams will get individual feedback by email, but just some feedback for third place.
Yeah, well, first of all, I'd like to thank all of you for all the time you spent with this data. This is the type of data that we're working with in real industry, so it's good that you guys got a taste for what that's like. And I sort of take for granted that I have a lot of programs in place to already use this data and try to drive insights. Somebody asked me in the reception if there was some insights from this data that I expected to see that I didn't see, and I couldn't come up with an answer because I think every team brought some really good insights and was able to draw good insights from both profiling the file and running different algorithms on that. So I commend all of you for doing that. It was really, really good, and I didn't really see any gaps of well, nobody did X, right? So everybody, you had a very short amount of time to do that all in. So that on top of it, I'm very impressed with. So the first team, are we saying who the
This is third place team, okay. And just maybe some highlights of why they got third place. No, not yet.
Okay.
And then when you're ready.
All right. Okay. So this team, I think, I really liked the executive summary, and overall, I think everybody agreed that we liked the executive summary. There was a really unique, so like I said, a lot of the teams profiled the clusters and gave us a lot, we saw a lot of similarities across the teams. There was a really unique insight that this team had. Am I thinking about the right, hold on one second. I was not.
Sorry to put you on the spot.
That's the second team. No.
It's not rehearsed.
Yeah. So I was going to read some of those summarized things because that's easier. So very good deck. We didn't have, the one thing that was slight, lacked some of the assumptions. When we go through any kind of data analysis with clients, we like to see, like, here's the data I used, and here's some of the assumptions I made about the data, because you want to make sure that you're on the same page with your really good recommendations, very good visualizations, lot of different techniques used, very good use of the competitor information. So there was a lot of nice insights comparing the client to their competitors. So we really liked that. There were, it seems like you were almost really prepared for the questions too. So there was very good answers to questions, even though without the context of knowing who the client is, it's very hard to answer these types of questions. So you all did a very good job doing that. You had a good organized story, and yeah, I think that summarizes it, right?
Very good. Okay, so the winning team is, the third place team is?
So that team is TGIF.
And we'll just take, could you mind me in the picture?
Oh, no.
Why does it come on behind here? Come on this way. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, second place.
Okay, so I apologize for my comment before, because this was a team that had a unique insight around that I never noticed in this data too. We play with this data actually a lot, and there's a lot more questions on there, but it was an insight around the big ticket spenders and their income, and looking at the demographics of the file, that how the higher income people actually tended to purchase low ticket items at a higher frequency. And so that was just one additional insight that we never saw in the data, none of the other teams recognized, but to us it demonstrated there was a lot of understanding of this file and a lot of different algorithms that the team used. We liked the presentation. I'm going to quickly read through the other notes of the team, because I don't want to make this all be about my original comments. There were a lot of nice recommendations that came out of this. I think the big ticket, low ticket insight was kind of a consistent message that all of the judges liked, and having that insight. Good recommendations in comparison to competitors, great insight on the high ticket, low ticket. That was, and very good question and answer. So the team was really able to, I think some of the judges asked some good questions, and the team was really able to respond to those questions with good responses. So
very good. So the second place goes to?
I don't want to get it wrong. Starks, the team Starks.
We'll go over here.
Oh, right.
I'll share.
Thank you. Thank you.
So the first place team did like I said, everybody did a great job. It's hard to talk, very glowingly about one team over anybody, because all of you are here for a reason, that you did a great job analyzing this data set. There were a couple similar to the previous team. There's a group of customers in this file that are men that, as you knew from the beginning, that this was a women's apparel store, and so a lot of focus is on the women and how there's multiple segments within this file of lower income and higher income customers and things like that. And this team really brought together recommendations and insights around the male portion of the population, and how men are part of the woman's decision-making process in many ways. So we like that. The presentation itself, the PowerPoint presentation was very, very well done. I think that I had some comments on labeling of graphics and stuff like that, but those were very nitpicky items. The flow of the presentation, just the overall content was really, really well done, so congratulations and that team.
Logan, Michael, any additional comments about overall what separated some teams from others as far as insights, like what is something every team we want to work on potentially?
I think just delivery of presentation. I think one key thing to me was that some teams didn't have everyone on the team present. And I would have liked to have seen everyone on the teams have something to say in the presentation.
Or even in the Q&A.
Or in the Q&A.
They were suggesting.
Yeah, but working everybody in the presentation would have been ideal.
And I think following, it's simple, but following directions, I think some of you didn't follow every piece of the criteria. So operationalizing the data, or so where the competitors were left out. So when you're doing this, you can't leave a phase out that's going to ding you, that dings you to the client. In the real world, it's going to ding you here. So.
Yeah. And overall, reading all the comments, it seemed like the strategy part was missing on quite a few. The technical analysis was fine, but as far as connecting the dots in terms of very specific business strategy, that was missing. And also some of the recommendations were very generic, versus being very specific with demographics, psychographics, etc.
I think in general, a lot of people answered who to go acquire, but the question was how to acquire. So sometimes I felt like the issue of channels, which channels should be used to kind of reach different people was kind of missing for some.
Yeah, I think outside of school, the one thing to think about is that there's a lot of people that can do models and analytics. What differentiates you is how to operate or how to actually activate that analytics and bring it to life, and that's the strategy and telling the story. And I think that's a piece that you have to get the foundation of being able to use data and build the analytics, but really work on that strategy because that will separate you from the pack.
So as a little bit of an infomercial, I'm sorry, Mary.
I was just going to say one other comment. I mean, we appreciate the feedback. If we do this again, just allowing you some different insight into the data. I know we gave you a lot of data, but just listening to you and how you cut it down, and we know there was some duplication. And Julie was saying we already take that into account because it's automated. So we'll give better data sets or more refined data sets. So we appreciate that feedback too.
So a little bit of an infomercial. We receive a lot of the board feedback, and we really incorporate it, and a lot of it has to do with the insights component, so the analytics is a key component, but also that actionable, business-oriented recommendations and business-friendly language is a key thing we are trying to incorporate into many of our marketing courses. So that also was something that I noticed in the comments that kind of separated some things that were very technical, but not so good on kind of the insights, recommendations component. So with that said, the first place winner is
Team Random. And I love the name too.
You will love the name if you are a statistician or an analyst.
Good.
all right. Thank you very much. So that concludes the Morris High competition. Our hope is to have this as an annual event. Thank you, everybody. Everybody, please give yourselves a round of applause.